Alright guys, so today we're going to be installing this hood quick release on the CRX. So I bought this kit a few months ago when PLM released it. I just been slacking and haven't put it on. More because I wanted to make a video for you guys. If you guys can see, this box is so dusty because it's just been sitting around. And this is all you get with the kit. So you get some hardware and most important, the two latches for each side of the hood. So technically speaking, I don't think this is really a quick disconnect because it has this pin that you got to unscrew. I mean, it definitely defeats having to take out 4 of the screws to take off your hood when you need to. All in all, I think it should be a quick install. I did see Young Static's video when he released that video, and he did say he trimmed on his carbon fiber hood to make it fit a little bit better. So I don't know if PLM fixed that issue, but I technically would grind on this before I grind on my hood because you don't want to, you know, make your carbon fiber thinner than what it already is, you know. Alright guys, so there it is. Took the hood off. Wasn't that hard, but it's definitely a pain. So this quick release should save us all that time now. So let's get it mounted on here and then we'll do the ones on the car. I guess we gotta align it once it's on the car and on the hood. Make sure before you tighten everything down, and then we'll see how it turns out. Well guys, I could already see where the issue is, because if I lay this thing flat here, if you guys can see, this thing's kind of rubbing there. So that's basically where you want to kind of grind down. And like I said, Young Static I think he grind his hood, but I'm just gonna grind this. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I mean, I'm sure if PLM seeing this, maybe adjust it a little bit just so it's a little higher, because I mean, you got plenty of material here, so I don't think it'll affect anything. Like I said, I'll just grind it down, so it's not a big deal. And also the hardware they send me, if you guys can tell, these screws are just thicker than the ones I had on there, so I'll just use the old hardware I had. Another thing I'm gonna have to do is drill this hole a little bit bigger because it's not perfect. Now I'm thinking if carbon fiber hoods are the issue, because the 2 holes don't match up, so I can't put 2 screws in them. So I'm going to drill this one a little bit bigger just to give it a little bit more play, and it should work out. Alright, so here it is after grinding quite amount of material off of it. So the hood has this bump, and that's basically where it's not clearing. So I'm going to put it right next to this one and see the difference, see how much I did grind off, because it was a good amount. That's how much I had to grind off just to make it fit on the hood. So now what I'm going to do is just trace that one, grind it down, and see if it fits on the other side too. I actually ran to the hardware store and got me some of these hex screws, some Allen wrench screws, because I thought it would look a little cleaner. But for now, I got both sides mounted. So now it's all about taking this cover off and taking these off and cleaning it all up, and then install the other ones and see how it fits, see if it sits right, and go from there. So let's get this thing removed. Alright guys, so as you guys seen there, it was pretty easy to put it on. I have more of a gap here on this side than I do on this side, so I definitely got to move them that way. Nothing too crazy. I still haven't even siliconed it, so I'm gonna silicone it now. I'm sure I'll be able to adjust it after, so I'm gonna do that, and I think it should work out pretty good. Alright, so what I ended up doing is actually drilling the back hole a lot bigger too, because I pushed these as far as I could this way, and it still wasn't clearing my gap. So what I ended up trying to do was try to adjust these on the hood, and those holes were too small. So what I did was I drilled out this one bigger, just so it could give me a little bit more slack so I could move it this way. Alright, so I finally got my latches to work. The gap is pretty good. The thing about carbon fiber hoods is that they're never perfect, so you're always going to have a weird gap on them, but you always want to get it, you know, as clean as you can. All in all, not too bad, because I'll be able to take off the hood real easy when I need to do stuff to it. Alright guys, so there it is. So if you would ask me if I would recommend these things, I would say yes, and no. No being because I paid for them and I had to do this much of work, and if you don't have all these tools, the grinder or anything, it definitely would have been a hard job for you. And then in the yes is because now I got some quick release and they actually look pretty good. So I mean, it's like everything else. When you first create something brand new, there's always going to be issues with it, and I'm pretty sure that's what PLM is doing, because I reached out to K-Tune about 2 years ago and trying to see if they had quick release for the CRX, and they didn't. And you know, PLM beat them to it, so I bought them off. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend them because the amount I paid for them and the amount of work I had to do, you know, time is money too, you know, when it should have just been a bolt-on. You know, I'm not talking smack about them because they're out here putting out products, so ain't nothing wrong with it, and you know, it's trial and error. I'm just giving my honest opinion because I did pay for them, and I just want you guys to be aware if you guys decide to buy these things. I mean, like I said, it's been a few months since I got them, so PLM probably fixed that issue already. But just like that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace.